Hello YouTube viewers, my name is Marcus from It's Up and Running, and this is a review of something a little bit different from tech, but it still has tech in it. The Sketchers Max Cushion Elite. Alright, I'm back, and I've been spending some time with the Sketchers Max Cushion Elite, as you can see right here. So, over the past 2 weeks, I've been using this shoe for exercising. These shoes are available on the Skechers website for $90. I am going to speak more about the technology that's in this shoe. And then after that, I'm going to go into the 3, 2, 1 review. All right. There are 2 pieces of technology that are in this shoe that make it very cushiony and very good to actually use. The first one is called Ultra Go EVA midsole. That is actually going to be this big portion that you can see on the shoe, like the big white midsole section. The second piece of technology is called Goga Matte insole. That is actually inside the shoe. So that's the insole. So the Ultra Go EVA midsole, this big thick portion, it is part of the Go Run family. It provides cushioning, it's shock absorbent, and it also gives you a very slight bounce back feel. So it's almost like when you walk on the shoe, it compresses, and then as you take a step up, it decompresses. So it's very cushiony and a very good feeling midsole. The insole, which is the Goga Matte insole, it is also shock absorbent, it's cushiony, and it's springy. So kind of similar to the Ultra Go midsole. It also compresses and then decompresses as you walk. So combining those 2 technologies, you get a product that is both cushiony and responsive. All right, so on to the pros. The first pro is that this shoe is very comfortable. So the 2 technologies in the insole and in the midsole do combine to make a very comfortable walking and running shoe. The second pro is that I like the build quality of this shoe. I did not expect this kind of build quality from Skechers, but at the same time, I've never owned a pair of Skechers. And I'm kind of older, so I remember stuff like Skechers shape-ups, which these kind of do remind me of some shape-ups, but they're not shape-ups. Anyway, so the build quality, it is actually pretty good. I do like the materials that they used, as well as these really cool stretchy laces. Yes, these laces are kind of stretchy, and it's pretty interesting. But there are some not so good parts to the build, as in you can see glue on certain parts of the shoe. It's not the biggest, and truthfully, you can only see it if you're kind of looking for it. If you're not looking for it, you won't see it, you won't notice it, it'll be perfectly fine. But the third pro about this shoe is that it is very lightweight and stable. So if you're a person that is a runner or else a walker, you want something that is lightweight so you can exercise or walk or run for longer, but you also want something that's stable. That way, like, you kind of prevent like a heel roll or some other kind of injury. But these shoes are both. They are lightweight and they are stable. So, good job, Skechers. Okay, on to the cons. So, first thing I am going to say, these are not beautiful. All right. They are definitely unique looking. They are definitely something that I could see someone liking. But if Skechers is trying to win a fashion category or a best looking category, they need some help. I checked out the other color schemes of this shoe before I purchased this one. The other ones are not much better. But if you don't mind the looks of this shoe, but if you do mind, this is pretty much as good as it comes. All right, con number 2. The shoe is bulky. This is a bulky shoe. The upper, it is actually not that bulky, but at the same time, the bottom, it is wide. It is large and in charge. But at the same time, though, that does add to the stability, and the technology that is in the midsole does make it comfortable. So I guess it's a trade-off. The third con is that this shoe is not very flexible. Yeah, that's about as far as I'm going here. So yeah, this shoe is not very flexible. But I mean, once again, kind of like the bulkiness of the midsole, it adds to the stability of the shoe. So it makes sense why it wouldn't be very flexible, but at the same time, sometimes when I'm walking in this shoe, and because of like the upper being like kind of like almost flexible, I can feel my foot kind of pop out of like the heel, like very slightly. And I don't know if it's just because I'm still in the break-in period of this shoe, or else if it's just because the upper is very flexible, but the midsole is not so flexible, and those two contrast to make it either A, you have to tie your shoe super tight, or B, you just have to deal with, you know, like the kind of feeling of like your heel kind of popping out of the shoe like very slightly. All right, so as a comparison to the Skechers, I chose the Adidas EQT Support Ultra Boost. So this is a shoe that is part of the Adidas Ultra Boost line. And the Ultra Boost is actually these very small little dots that you can see on the shoe. So these little small looking like little rock things, like this really odd like formation here, that is all part of Ultra Boost. So Ultra Boost is a very cushioned insole also. The upper on these shoes are much more cushioned and much more, I guess you could say, soft feeling than the upper on the Skechers. The midsole, which is going to be this portion down here, it's just as comfortable and just as responsive, but at the same time, it's not as thick. So you get the same feeling, but in a much thinner, lower profile midsole. Now, because this is actually a thinner, lower profile midsole, the shoe is a little bit less stable. So compared to the Skechers, the midsole, it's much thinner, but because it's much thinner, it's not as stable. So if you're doing like a lateral movements or something else like that, you are much more likely to roll an ankle in this kind of shoe than in this kind of shoe. But the other downside of this particular shoe is that this shoe was $160. So this is almost twice the price of the Skechers. So if you have the extra money, I mean, I could very easily see someone choosing a Adidas Ultra Boost product over the Skechers product. But at the same time, the Skechers product does offer, I would say, fairly parallel cushioning. So they're both pretty equal in the cushioning department. But the Adidas does have some better styling, I think. But you do pay almost twice the price for that better styling. So, these shoes are great for walking and for running. These shoes are impeccable for those reasons. If you are looking for a shoe for general exercise though, I would suggest to look elsewhere. And I don't mean too far elsewhere, just because I do really like the Ultra Go technology. But there are different versions of Skechers shoes that have the same technology, but just are way more flexible and that do offer some better lateral movement stability. I can't talk. Stability than what these shoes currently offer. Yeah, but if you are a walker or a runner, I would suggest to go for these shoes. They are super comfortable. They are pretty good from a build quality, and at the price compared to the competition, they're a very good value. Now, last but definitely not least, if you are a person that is looking to support the bulky dad shoe trend, I would say these are comfortable and they're definitely kind of bulky, but I would check the Skechers website for the other color schemes. There are definitely some dad shoes on that Skechers website. Not all of them, but there are definitely some there, so go for it. Anyway, this is Marcus from It's Up and Running. If you liked the video, please give me a like. I try to do a video every week, so I'll try to stick to that schedule, but I do have a different job, so yeah, if you have any questions, just leave some comments below, and I'll try to get to them. All right, have a great week. Bye-bye.